Hi, it's Dr. C, and today we will be going over calculating confidence intervals based on a word problem. So we end up having one that says out of 600 people sampled, 222 had kids. Based on this, construct a 90% confidence interval for the true population proportion of people with kids. So let's highlight the important parts here. Um, so out of 600 people sampled, 202 had kids, and then we're constructing a 90% confidence interval. Okay, so they don't really give us much, but we can work through a lot. So again, I always have people write out the relevant formulas. So for the confidence interval for population proportion, we essentially have the proportion plus or minus the critical value times the square root of the population proportion times Q, which is 1 minus P, divided by N, which is the sample size. So next you're going to actually state your givens based on what they gave us. So they gave us a sample size, which again is not much, but from there we can calculate P. So P is 222 divided by 600, which is 0.37. And then from Q, we can calculate that. So we do 1 minus 0.37, that gives us 0.63. For the Z critical, we do 1 minus alpha divided by 2, and that gives us 0.95. Now, I have a trick where you can just go to Excel to calculate this, and you do equals norm dot s dot inv, and you put the probability in here. So we found that the probability was 0.95, okay? And that gave us about 1.645 as our Z critical. Okay, so once we figure that part out, that's essentially all that's been given to us. So next, the only thing that's left is to calculate the confidence interval. So as a reminder, here's the formula. So we have P plus or minus the critical value times the square root of P times Q divided by N. We literally have everything from our given, so we just kind of plug everything in. So we do 0.37 plus or minus 1.645 times the square root of 0.37 times 0.63 divided by 600. So I advise you to break it down so you're able to try to figure out everything in steps. So we can just do everything under the square root. So 0.37 times 0.63 divided by 300 is approximately 0.01971. When we multiply that together, that gives us about 0.0324. So then we just pretty much do plus or minus that. So the upper bound is 4024, and the lower bound is 0.33, 3376. So this is your answer. I do hope that you found this video to be helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.